It is recording. So hello, everyone. My name is Laura Carr, and I'm here today because I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine, Jason Richards, and we are here to tell the story of how he saved me from student loan debt. And I wanted to make a recording because, and when I invited Jason to this, he was like, absolutely, because as therapists, so I'm a marriage and family therapist, and so this video is for everyone, but I was specifically inspired to do this for therapists because we, as a helping community, tend to get in a lot of student loan debt, and then we tend to get in careers that are not super highly financially rewarding, especially in the beginning. We often get into this field because it's emotionally rewarding, and then we get stuck in these, student loans. So I want to tell my story. So I wanted to do this video to get it out to as many therapists as possible, so that, because it's hard to find people, that are trustworthy. So I've just been really blessed to find Jason. And so we wanted to do this video to get that out to everyone. So everyone, I want to introduce you to Jason. Jason, this is everybody. But Jason,
pleasure to meet you all.
Pleasure to meet you, everybody.
Even though I don't see your faces.
Not yet, right?
Right.
Do you want to tell a little bit about your like, who are you? Who are you?
So I am, well, first, I guess I'll just start with my age. So I'm 26. I actually started in the financial services industry about 2.5 years ago. And it was never a career path that I envisioned myself going down. It wasn't even something that was on my radar. But I had a friend who started working in the finance industry, and he sat down with me, kind of had one of his mentors and one of his higher up supervisors go over my financial situation with me and figure out how to help me with my own personal debt, just overall financial strategy, literacy, education, and things of that nature. And once I kind of got my financial house in order, I started to become passionate about providing the information and the education to other people. And so I wanted to spread that awareness, and I was given the opportunity to do so by becoming affiliated with the organization that I'm with now. And so we help people with student debt, we help people with debt, we help people with pretty much anything under the financial sun. But a lot of what I do is help with the student loans because it's such a prevalent issue, especially, like Laura was saying, in the therapy industry. But I mean, we've got over $1 trillion in student loan debt in our country, and it's definitely something that weighs pretty heavily on a lot of individuals and a lot of families. So thank you, Laura, for kind of facilitating this video, because I'm really, really excited to get this education and information out to as many people as possible.
Me too. And so, I feel like my story is I don't think I'm unique, right? I think my story is pretty familiar to, probably not just therapists. I'm thinking physical therapists and lawyers and doctors and teachers and just, people who go off to get graduate degrees, master's, doctorate degrees, and then find that, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? So let me just briefly tell my story. And so I started when I went immediately out of high school. I got into college, and I, went to college and got my bachelor's degree. And, I didn't have a family who could financially pay for my college. And so I was grateful for student loans. And I was always taught that student loan debt was something that it was a good debt to have. I was taught that it was something that would like die with you, and it would be, good interest rates, and, it was just a good debt to have. So I got my student loan debt with my bachelor's. And then when I finished my bachelor's, I went off and got my graduate degree. I got my master's. And at the end of it, no one ever really sat down with me to explain to me what kind of debt I was taking on. What does this mean? It was really just sign here. It'll get you into, to pay for your education, and then you'll just repay it later, and, all of that stuff. And so after I graduated, I deferred my loans for several years because my first job getting out of, I'm a little worried about my dog. So I am at home. So if my dog, there she goes. My time out real quick while I grab her. Hey. So life at home. My apologies for that. I'm going to be sitting right here with me. So no one really ever explained that to me. And so I just took it on and eventually, got a payment that I could afford and was paying it back for years, just went on paying it back, paying it back, paying it back. And what I found, it was then my loan company got sold to someone, and my payment skyrocketed, and I freaked out a little bit. I called the loan company, and they were going to help me out, and then my call would get dropped, or I would get transferred to someone else, or they'd give me one information, and then I'd get some. It was just really confusing, and so I just kept paying it, and that happened. That was going for a couple of years. And I've been licensed 20 years. So I've had this debt for a really long time. And then I was on a Facebook group. It was an entrepreneurial group. And Jason, you made just this post, something about student loan debt, who wants help with that. And I jokingly responded, yeah, I would love help with that. But for me, it was a sarcastic, like I had just bought into this belief that it'll never change.
Right.
And you responded back, yeah, let's meet up and let's see how I can help you. So we went back and forth for a little while. And I'll tell you, at that time, I was very skeptical because I'd had some bad experiences with, people in the world where I felt like I'd gotten kind of scammed and it wasn't a great experience. And so Jason and I sat down. He told me, he kind of went through, looked at my debt and everything, and he started educating me on this, and I was still skeptical. And Jason was incredibly patient. So, in our therapist groups, you all know this. Someone will post some story about someone getting scammed. They thought they were in a loan forgiveness program, and it turns out they weren't. And now they owe all this interest on top of things. And so I would send Jason these articles, and then he would respond back to me with educated information about that. Yes, this happens because people don't get signed up into the right program. And he just walked me through patiently through the whole process. He saved me a big chunk of money monthly. Then he also got me into a specific loan forgiveness program that fits for me and the job that I have and the company that I have and all of that. And so the day that I got the notification that this all went through, I cried because the tears were kind of a surprise to me because I didn't realize how stressed out I was about this. And they were tears of relief and just tears of, joy that I had a plan and that I knew what was going to happen. I have already paid off, like up to this point, Jason educated me, like I've already paid off the amount I borrowed, and all of this is just interest. And so he got me into a plan that's going to get that taken care of much more quickly had I not met with Jason. And so the other piece that I realized is like once I turned it over to Jason, like he handled all of the roadblocks, all of the pushbacks that this loan company kept making it difficult to take the next step. And I didn't have to deal with this. Jason took care of it. What he told me once I signed up for his program, he said, any emails you get sent, just forward them on to me. And he is taking care of it. And so I want other people to find, to be able to meet with Jason so that they can get the same information and find out. It's either going to be three things. He's going to provide them with a program that they have, that he can fit them for a better fit. And then that money that they save can go towards something else that's better suited for their family rather than some, bank. He's going to give them the information and they're going to say, nope, it's fine. That's what I want to keep doing. Or he's going to let you know you're actually in a great program, but here's what it is. And he'll spell it out for you. So no matter what, you'll be informed. And that's kind of what the gift that I want other people to have access to is information and to be educated. The other quick little piece is that I got to know, Jason's story. Then I also got to know the story of the woman who started this program. So I want to turn it back over to Jason to tell a little bit about Rachel's story, because that also helped build credibility for me. So yeah, so thank you.
Well,
you want to talk a little bit about Rachel?
Absolutely. And first, thank you so much, Laura. Every time I hear your story and every time you tell it, I get to feel warm inside because it's a good feeling knowing that I was able to help you. And impact your life in such a significant way. So thank you for sharing that with me. It's definitely something that I'm going to hold on to. And so as far as Rachel's background, Rachel Katz, she is the owner and the builder of Key to Debt Free. And she actually had over $100,000 in student loans when she went to get her MBA in finance.
Mm.
And when she went to go and try to pay these loans off or to get any sort of help, guidance, or assistance through the lender, it was almost non-existent. They would give her conflicting information every single time she would call in. She would speak to a different representative each time. It was almost impossible to navigate through all of the misinformation, misguidance, and just, for lack of a better word, really kind of taking advantage of people's ignorance. And so Rachel went and she figured out the entire process of how to enroll in these certain forgiveness programs, what all of the programs were, how they worked, all of the minutia, all of the details. She went in and she learned all of that. And then I had the opportunity to learn that from her. And so I'm grateful to be working with Rachel because she's provided me with knowledge that I didn't have. And now I can go and provide and arm people with knowledge so that they're educated. They know what their rights are as borrowers and they know what options are available to them rather than feeling like they're at the whim and the mercy of the lender. And so that's a little bit about Rachel and her story. She's a single mother. She started this company because she just didn't want people to have to go through what she went through when she was working with her student loans. And so just such an amazing woman. So glad to be in business with her. And she has a very incredible story as far as student debt goes.
Right. And so the questions I get is like, who is this person? Right. And how much does it cost? Like, how does it work? And so I'll just tell you from my experience and then, speak to anything if to elaborate or correct anything that's not accurate, is that what I really appreciated is when I sat down with you for you to go over the options, the sitting down and going through what my options are, you did that for free. There was no cost to that for you to sit down and walk me through all of that. Then you presented me with the options. And so what it cost me was, I don't know how to talk about this or say it succinctly, but it was a no-brainer, the fee to pay you to take care of this, because what you ended up saving me is actually what paid for the program within a few months. And then after, right, that was paid off. Now that money that I'm saving each month, I get to now use in any way that I want for my family, myself, in any way that's going to serve our family in a better way. And so I think it's really, it's just such a smooth, gentle, and I just found a lot of integrity in the whole process.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I actually really appreciate that.
Right.
And so I think that, well, what are some of the questions that you get the most often as far as when you bring this up to people in conversation? What are some of the questions you get as far as requiring more information?
Well, and I think that's I think most of us, how much is he going to save me? How much, and who is this person and how do you know him? And so I think that to me, that's why this video is so important to get, there's something about the feel of a video to get to experience someone's energy of how they show up. And so to me, that's why this is so important, to help people with that. And then to me, the next piece is always, I just connect them with you and then you do your magic. And then if it works for them and it's a good fit, then, that you two can move forward in that. So wherever we post this video, we'll put your contact information in there, but I think it could also be helpful to have it in the video just in case someone doesn't have access to the feed. So what's the best way to get a hold of you if someone is interested in learning more?
Sure. So if anyone who's interested in learning more, if you just want to be educated on your rights as a borrower, if you want to know what situation you're in, if you just want a little bit of guidance and kind of don't know where to start, don't know how to navigate through the murky waters of student loan debt, you can give me a call or a text at 805-501-9333. Text or call are usually the two best ways to get a hold of me. If I don't answer a call, it's probably because I'm in an appointment with a client, or I'm just not able to get to my phone at that time. But I will always respond to text, and I'll always reach back out to you. So anyone with questions at all, please reach out at that number, and I will make
Say it
myself
again.
available to you.
Say the
Oh
number.
yes, so the number is 805-501-9333.
It's a easy. So 801.
805
805
501 9333.
9333. Okay,
Got it.
that's great. And could they also kind of look up Key to Debt Free?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, and we're actually having a website guy completely overhaul our website and make it even nicer.
Okay.
But the website is Key to Debt Free. So like a key for a door, so KEY, the number 2, and then debt free.
Okay.
And that's going to be our website.
Okay, awesome. So Key to Debt Free, Jason Richards, right? You can also look Jason up on Facebook, right? Yep. You'll do any research prior to it, right? So any of you skeptics out there like me, look him up. He's legit. He's for real. So I've known Jason for, I don't know so if you hear any screaming in the backyard, it is my children playing games. Jason, I don't know when we first made contact, but I think it's coming up on a year, 9 months or so. So
just about, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it took a couple of months. It wasn't a very long process. Once kind of I signed up and signed on the dotted line, and then you went to work. It took a couple months for this to occur. So it doesn't take a year. I guess I want to clarify that. So Jason's a legit guy. He's been around. I've known him, been spending time with him, met him face to face, been to his office. And so I just can't highly recommend him. So I wish you all luck. If there's any questions you have of me, feel free to reach out to me. You can look me up on Facebook as well, Laura Carr. And and we can just go from there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Laura. That was not really. I think we pretty much covered everything. And like I said, anyone who even has any sort of avoidance towards thinking about their student loans, or any sort of just emotional stress when it comes to the student loans and just not knowing how to navigate through it, please feel free to reach out to me. I can at least educate you on what your options are, what your rights as a borrower are, and that doesn't cost anything.
Which is the motto of the business is leave no family behind.
Correct. No family left behind.
No family left behind. Thank you. That's more succinct. That's the other thing is knowing Rachel's story, getting to talk with and meeting Rachel with you. I can attest to, right, their commitment to that mission statement is to educate, right, the person. Because I would say I was one of those who's ignorant, and when I get triggered, avoidance is one of the as in the therapist language, maladaptive coping mechanisms that I would employ, right, to address the initial resistance that I'm feeling internally, but that doesn't address the issue long term. So here we are. Jason is here to help. So good luck, and here's to financial wellness.
Excellent. To financial wellness. Thank you so much, Laura.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.